Hey, welcome to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura, and I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Now that energy is fluid, so roles could be reversed. Flip it, switch it, twist it. Interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Never force anything. Always know that the message always tends to go to the person that has the most anxiety about it. I say the person that needs to hear the message. We always get the message that we need to hear, not the one that we want to hear. So again, if someone has a lot of anxiety about their connection, it's always good to listen to these type of shadow readings. I always look at the shadows. I always look and see what your person is feeling about you, what they're going to do, what's transpired. But the most important thing is to look at the shadow, because the shadows will tell us why we have certain triggers and certain behaviorisms, and behaviorisms that tend to be karmic tend to cause problems, tend to cause emotional pain. So we always want to be able to integrate the spiritual lesson. That's why you're getting a soulmate. That's why you're getting a soul connection, because there's unconditional love there. And when it's real love, you can't control it. Real love can't be manipulated, it can't be destroyed, it transcends time and space. So when we have a soul family come into our life, someone from our soul family rather come into our life, we always recognize, again, by the way that the person feels. So again, our emotions are the best way also to tell us whether we're balanced or not. So again, they are the gateway to spiritual healing. Now, if you're new to the channel and you're not a Virgo, and you might want to just find out about other zodiacs, you might want to check out my Psychic Soul Healer channel. The link and all other important links you'll find in the description box. Also, if you're someone that is in need of shadow healing, you can check out my Psychic Soul Healer deck. This comes with a workbook that has over 100 different shadow healing exercises. So it teaches you how to deepen your meditation reflection practices, teaches you how to do readings, teaches you how to do shadow healing. It's the best way, again, if you want to work on your own. Now, if you need something a little bit more in depth, you might want to check out my subscriptions. I have a $7.99, a $9.99, and a $20 subscription. All tiers come with inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, and EFT, some NLP, breath work, meditation, and a lot of other healing modalities. Because when we're healing shadows, we're healing trauma, and being able to integrate that is to really not just heal the mind with a new awareness, but we have to take action. And usually it's the action that creates a lot of anxiety before. We may know what we need to do, but the actual grounding part can be nerve wracking, right? Because we're being asked to do something different. So that might mean we have to all of a sudden set boundaries with a person that's difficult. That creates a lot of anxiety, especially if there's someone that we have an emotional connection to, but we just automatically know how they're going to respond. Or when we have to, completely let something go. Sometimes we can, again, have anxiety about leaving a job, changing a relationship. So grounding means do something different, but it could be a smooth transition in doing something different, or it could be turbulent. It all depends on what you do. And incorporating healing modalities to help balance out your energy so you can take a practice of breath work into your everyday life. So you can be really grounded to tap into the higher self to get the results that you want, because healing trauma requires you, again, to take the new awareness from the readings or from your own intuition and apply them into life. So it sounds a lot easier said than done. Now, sometimes I should say. Now, if you resonate with this video and you want to get that reading with me, all you got to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel. You got to do that anyway if you want to enter into winning a reading. And you'd also write the word of the day in your comment bar. That was too many. That was one card. That was a chunk. However, that's a jumper. And the words of the day are going to be self-observation, self-observation. And that is always how we like to start off the reading, to see whatever the card of the day is going to be. I believe in synergy. I believe in synchronicity. So again, word of the day has to do with what we're supposed to be looking at. So here is self-observation. So I'm feeling like you are connected to somebody that is actually making you look at yourself, seeing what you want and what you don't want. And I feel like the person that you're connected to is actually looking at themselves and also figuring out what they want within a relationship, within their life. And I also think that they're looking at some of their behaviors. And for whatever reason, I feel like you're in separation with this person. I feel like you're in separation from this person, and they're just it's actually in separation from everyone, not just you. They're in a quiet space. And again, they're in a place of self observation because they're not liking their life. And I'm not saying that they're not liking you. There are, again, you are in that mix where they're thinking of you, but they're thinking of their life as a whole. And I feel like this actually triggers you to also look at your life, because maybe this person isn't coming forward. It's again making you feel a certain way. And we're going to take a look and see, again, whether I'm right or why I'm feeling that energy and what that has to do with your reading. Because if you're in a place of separation where you're observing yourself, this person's observing themselves. Why is that? What's going to happen? How do they feel about you? And obviously, what they're going to do. And we always want to know that. And obviously, what is the point of the relationship? We like to always see what the point of the relationship is before we balance it out. Because sometimes it's just to learn a karmic lesson, where other times it could be to learn self-love, perseverance, forgiveness. There's a lot of, lessons to be learned within relationships. That's how we learn most of our lessons. Unconditional love makes us do that. We wouldn't stick around long enough to want to learn. Because again, dealing with relationships that trigger us is not an easy thing to do, and navigate your life at the same time. A lot of times we can feel paralyzed, if we're like trying to be in a relationship and also navigate our life, but the relationship isn't going well. So this is why we want to have tools like breath work and meditation and doing certain things for integration. I know I messed up everything. See, I knew you were in separation from this person. I just kind of knew they were in self-observation because they were looking at themselves for how they treated you. That was the energy that I felt. I know that I crossed the line with you. This person lies. This person lies. They pretend to have a bigger life than they do. They talk to multiple people at the time. They don't like real. They're comfortable with surface relationships. They're comfortable with sexual relationships. They're not comfortable with true intimacy. They have major trust issues. They have major commitment issues because of these intimacy issues. And so I'm feeling like your person, again, before you met them, they had all these wounds. And so you have come into their life to awaken unconditional love, because this person is actually still thinking about you. I'm feeling as if they didn't think that they could love, and that happens after a while when you shut your heart down because you keep getting hurt. We will be together again. So they're in the back of their mind because they're still thinking about you. And I believe that this person is very business oriented. And if they're not business oriented, where they have their own business, they're just very, very street smart and strategic. They get what they want when they want something. They know how to get what they want. And so being that they're still thinking of you and they feel this connection, there's a sense that they can still, like, I think that they're a little delusional because they haven't put any effort in, but they think that they can, still be with you. Again, because they love you. So there's a sense again of this separation and them realizing that they care. So, like I said, this person I don't really feel like ever really gave a lot of time or energy. However, there is a real deep connection with you and them. And, they know that they played a lot of games. And that's why I say I feel like they know that they crossed the line with you because they were always dating a lot of people, but they made it almost look like they were only talking to you. And that's what they do. They go into like relationships and they're real charming and they're real sweet and they're kind of surface. They get what they want, they're in, they're out. And with you, I feel like you didn't allow them to do the in and out. I feel like they tried to do the in and out, and then it's like treat you the way that they treated everyone else. And what they see is that was a big mistake because they actually have feelings. But I feel like they had to completely demolish the connection in order for there to actually be a connection. You are always on my mind. See, because they do love you. But like I said, there's a sense of, okay, they have this realization and they can't shut it off, but will they do anything? We'll soon see. I can see myself with you in the future. I feel like I'm not good enough, however. So it's again, they still can struggle with their ego a lot. And I'm feeling like until they actually put effort in, they'll never know whether they're good enough. It's like it's mainly their trauma from their past and from all their other relationships, not just their relationships with like real romance relationships, but they've had problems with people in their past. So they don't feel good about themselves because of that, but they can't deny the connection that they have with you. I have sexual fantasies about you, not uncommon for like a soulmate, especially someone that thought that they couldn't love anymore. And here it is, you come into their life. Passion. Passion is what transmutes wounds a lot of times. When you can't walk away, but you want to walk away. This person had a big ego. They're surface. They're used to in, out, not being any type of relationship, treating you the way they treated everyone else. However, there was always a connection. There was always a connection, but I feel like they kind of put you on the back burner. They kind of put you on the back burner, and what they see is they played the game a little too long. They played the game a little too long, and it's like they see you in their future. They have sexual fantasies about you. Please forgive me. They want forgiveness. Because they tend to abandon people to make themselves more important. Again, those real intimacy connections terrify this person. You have to say, how does a person heal? They really heal by having a new awareness that they can experience something that they didn't think that they could experience. This person sees themselves with you. And I'm feeling because they were not in your life giving you anything. And I feel like even though that there was a connection, it wasn't enough for you to stick around. And so there's a sense of they downgraded the connection. And so where they know that they hurt you. So they don't really know how to fix it. And I feel like they're used to not having to fix it or having people come back to them and just downplay what they do. And I don't feel like you're allowing that. Twin flame relationship. Again, it doesn't matter. This person isn't going anywhere. And you are mad, but I feel like your heart, you're angry. You're more hurt and angry. And there's a sense that I feel like you need to learn the lesson of forgiveness. Because when we have a soulmate twin flame relationship, you can't destroy this type of connection. It's a real connection. This is what your person realizes. They would have never, like I said, they would never were in this type of connection before. The surface, in, out, here for a good time, not for a long time. Played a lot of games, manipulate, gaslight, player energy. Like I said, I was happy living that way. Wasn't looking for you, Virgo. Was not looking for you. These relationships scare your person because they're real. They're used to surface, but a twin flame relationship, it means that there's a part of this person, the higher self, that's ready to be in a real relationship. I feel like they're played out. They're played out, and then it's almost like they met you and they're like, you kind of have all the ingredients, and that connection that is undeniable. So that's what a twin flame relationship is all about. A twin flame relationship is all about when we're ready to make a change in our life, and a big change happens within our life, our twin flame comes in. So I'm feeling as if certain things are changing within your person's life and within your life almost at the same time. I don't know why I'm feeling that, but that's usually when twin flames come in. So I want to look at some of the wounds, because tempted, if you are considering going astray, why not just opt out? So it's, again, there's a sense like that this player, that like this person was a player, and so you're like, what your fear is that they're going to still be that type of player, and I think your person knows that. I feel as if they're looking at themselves. If the word of the day was self-observation, and it was mainly because they played a lot of games, they did a lot of stuff that they weren't really paying attention to, that was what they were doing when they met you, because they didn't really give you enough time to see how important the connection was. It wasn't that they didn't know that there was a connection, didn't realize that, didn't it wasn't that they didn't know that there was a connection. They knew, but they also were like, I feel like I needed to explore more. I wasn't ready. And so I knew that there was a connection, but I didn't give you enough time. So they might be playing it almost like, well, we didn't give each other time, or I didn't know, when you know that they were a player, and the sense that are you always going to be tempted by someone else because you didn't give me the time. So what I saw is that you can't give the time, and there's a place almost thing like that you're angry is what I'm feeling. So now what you do with it, we'll see. Empty. The truth is that you simply don't feel fulfilled. It's worth the wait to find true happiness. And because of that, this person didn't give you anything. And that's what I was saying. They were like always tempted by outside things. And there's a sense of, you don't even know what the relationship would look like, because they didn't give you any time. There's a sense of emptiness, and all you have is the fact that they were a player, and that they downgraded the connection, and that's what they know. And even though they realize that it was a twin flame relationship, and that's why they want forgiveness now, and they can see themselves with you now that they did all that. They had to, like, again, do all that to explore and be the player, and like abandon you to like see what else was out there. Like I said, that's why I'm saying they didn't really give enough. And like that's why, again, they're like, can't control. You can't control a twin flame connection, because there is all this passion where this person can't shut it off. And that is actually a good thing. And I'm going to tell you why it's a good thing, because it makes you do different things. It makes the person do, again, change. Passion makes us change. So I believe that your person really wanted to shut it off again, and again, conquest. Like, you feel like that this person acts like, again, like it could be just another conquest. What am I, just another conquest? Because this is the way that you are. And this person is quite aware, again, of that. Now let's see, like, what the reasoning is for this type of connection. Like, I mean, like I said, why would you get a twin flame? That everyone has a runner and a chaser. There always usually is a runner and a chaser. However, like, what are you supposed to be learning? What is the spiritual lesson? I watch you on social media, and internet is my way of staying close and finding out about you. So again, still saying that this person is they care. They just have to surrender their ego. They can see themselves with you, but they don't really know how to get back into your life after playing all these games, is what I see. And they played a lot of them, and they know it. My inner child was wounded when my parents couldn't respond to me in the way that I needed. I am reacting from that wound. So again, your person, again, like I said, came from like a very dominant background and has had bad relationships. Again, that's when we're not allowed to be our true self. So when we're not when we don't get our needs met, like those wounds do play out as karmic themes. And so, like I said, here it's with unconditional love, when meanwhile I feel like you were open to that at one point with this person, but now there's a sense like they ruined everything, and they kind of know that they ruined everything because they're the way that you're not responding to them. You're not responding to them. You're not talking to them. They know. Your inner child needs to come first. Trust that they are part of the plan. So it's again that we both need to heal you both need to heal your inner child wounds, is what this is saying. So, and you would do that by, like noticing how this person triggers you. For you, Virgo, this person wasn't here. They treated you like a player. And so they didn't give you enough. So it was to make sure that you gave yourself enough and to cultivate more within yourself. For your person, I think, again, it was pretty much the same thing. Now, because it's not uncommon, we get the same wounds as our twin. However, they're not channeled out the same way. We don't have the same behaviorisms. We don't deal with the wounds the same way. And that is really a runner and a chaser. Again, why the two twin flames respond the way that they do. Usually the one that, didn't get enough love usually tends to give a lot. Now, if someone was very dominant but got love, but wasn't allowed to be their own self without consequence, well, then they're going to be the runner, because they're like, I don't want to be controlled. I don't want to be controlled. By the time the twin flame realizes that this is a real connection, because they can't shut it off because they tried to, all their little games and play, what usually the relationship is trashed. And that's why the runner now becomes the chaser, because they demolish the connection. And that's why I'm saying, don't be tempted to disconnect from source. Our connection to source is the love and healing we require for reunion. So again, your soulmate and your twin flame teaches unconditional love, because you can't control it. So that's why these connections, when they're great, they're real great, and they're real passionate, and they're real fiery. And when they're bad, they're really bad, because the person is awakening your wounds. You're awakening their wounds, both triggers, and both people are required to change. And that's what this is saying. It's saying that you both are a twin flame connection. You can't really break it. It's the connection has come into union for both of you to look and see what you need to heal within yourself. There is passion there that's going to help transmute those wounds. But the triggers that you give to this person, your person needs to look at them, and vice versa. And then we project our patterns onto each other, and this makes it difficult to see what is real and what is fear-based thinking. So it's challenging. But twin flame relationships are challenging because again of the trigger and then the projection, which, like I said, this is a twin flame union, but now it's going to require your person that had a big ego and acted like you were kind of like just an option, again, like you were just like a conquest, and that they were a player. So it's going to require them to be different. And it's going to require them to come in and again surrender that big ego of theirs because they played a lot of games and play a different role in this connection. And for you, it's going to require, if you want to be in this connection, forgiveness. And if it's a twin flame relationship, even though you're mad as hell now, I can guarantee in 5 months, 3 months, maybe even 2 weeks, you won't be as mad. Because, and that's why they say these connections make you seem as if you're crazy because there is a tremendous amount of love. It's just, there's also like all that craziness. So we ask the universe, how can we deal with this type of connection? How can we, what are we supposed to, because it is a karmic one, but understand by doing what you need to in this connection with you, it's to you didn't put up with it, and that's what needed to happen. But forgiveness and forgiving if you want this connection, and that may be your karmic lesson that you need to learn forgiveness. And that would be if you grew up in an environment that was difficult and where the people in your life did things that they you feel like or didn't do things that you felt that they should have. So you're getting the karmic lesson again, but again, this time with a karmic mate and learning about forgiveness and letting go of the anger because there is unconditional love. So regardless of whether or not you're mad today or tomorrow, you won't be mad like eventually, and then you would be cutting your nose off to spite your face, where this person needed to actually like learn that they can have love, but they have to actually give to the relationship. They can't play games. They can't like be a player. They can't like treat you like you're just another notch on their belt. They have to actually like give the energy and learn intimacy. And that's when you give a relationship time and connection, relationships happen over time. That's how intimacy is created. So they cannot be tempted by every little thing that comes by. So we see why you're coming into union and what you both are healing and how you have to heal it. And so how does the universe, what does the universe, any advice from the universe tell us? Because sometimes there's tidbits also in like, how can we, anything else? So I'm going to pull 3. I am light. I always have hope no matter the ordeal. I have faith in a better future. I turn darkness into light. I open my heart to others and to God, and I am spiritually strong. I draw light to me and shine with all my being. So it's to always, whenever you get triggered, is to remind yourself, again, if you have trigger where you feel anger, resentment, again, you're sad, any negative emotion, is to remind yourself that that's a shadow and that that person really didn't create the shadow. They're awakening that shadow because nothing could be triggered if it wasn't already there. So that your original state of being is love. You have this connection to this person that is a twin flame, which they represent unconditional love too. So whenever you're out of alignment with yourself and this person, it's to return your energy back to yourself. It's also by giving yourself self love, right? I attend to my needs. So this person may not be able to give you needs, especially if they're triggering the shit out of you, or again, they are not capable of giving. Maybe you lived a karmic theme where you didn't get, as I said, from your parents. So this person isn't as emotionally intelligent, which they wouldn't be because they were a play. So you got to do it for yourself. Where the illusion may be, my parents should have did it, my lover should do it. Again, where spirit's saying no, you need to do it. You need to attend to your own needs by listening to your own heart. And it says, my inner essence lets me know what is good for me. I respect my limits. I answer the requests of my body and soul. Thus, I learn to love myself. So, again, this relationship, this person likes attention. So, it's about making sure that you give it to yourself and you don't lose yourself in the connection. And a new opening. So, this is a whole brand new experience. Do not treat this person the way that you treated them last time, or bring the old baggage from what has transpired or how they acted in the past into this new opening. It's to realize that if you're going to be in it, it's like I said, acknowledge the opportunity and learn about being in the present moment. Serenity comes from within. So it's again that you're not bringing in the baggage. Again, new opening. You're coming. You are again able to transition and really let go if you're going to pursue this connection. And with the twin flame connection, a lot of times, like you said, we can't control it. We want to control it, but we can't. Now, I'm going to leave that there. If you resonated with this video, Virgo, let me know. And if you did, like I said, forgiveness is a hard one. It's a really hard one, but it's one of the most essential spiritual lessons that we have. And I can tell you, if you don't heal that, you will have that play out within relationships and other relationships where you feel like people hurt you and you're like, and I feel like they never really apologize and they're never really sorry. And so you may feel that way with this person. They're going to come in and they are going to try and make it right. They see that. They don't know how, they don't know when. They're still in the process of trying to figure out how to come back because they're mortified at their own behavior. It's about being patient with this person and realizing that, again, unconditional love teaches patience. It teaches, like, again, not to hold the score and all those other beautiful traits that are not exactly the easiest, especially when you feel that someone did something intentionally. But that's all that this person knew. So until next time, be true to you like you kept doing in this story, Virgo, and you will create the life that you want. Because if not this person, you will definitely attract a different person. And as long as you're holding yourself accountable and giving yourself that unconditional love, you're demanding it. So either what this it did in this story is that you're making this person rise to the occasion. But if they couldn't do it, you would attract exactly a person that could. So kudos to you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.